And welcome back. I pre-recorded Fridays on Thursday. So welcome back to the week who would win. We've got this one from SS5 Raikage or Super Saiyan 5 Raikage. Who win a fight? Kid Sasuke from Part 1 of Naruto versus Zuko. This to me isn't very much... It would seem clear-cut at first, but we have to remember that things aren't always as it seems. Zuko is a very capable warrior. Actually, he's a skilled martial artist, a skilled swordsman, and an expert firebender. Like, I had to go so far as to say, except for the fact he couldn't do lightning by the end of the series. He's a master firebender. After learning who he truly was, his firebending got stronger, and he was able to fight toe to toe with Azula at that point. Granted, she was unhinged, but still. I mean, yeah, they were enhanced by Sozin Comet, but they were both enhanced by Sozin Comet. So yeah, and with firebending, you don't need hand signs, and you honestly don't even. I mean, you need chakra, obviously. It's not chakra per se; it's chakras. But you still need to be manipulating element through there, and you can get tired out. But in theory, you can just keep using your element. We never actually see someone in, I don't think, at least not the original Avatar, get so tired they can't bend an element. They are always kind of capable of doing it so long as you can move. That's basically, as long as you can move, you can do it. And firebenders and airbenders particularly don't actually even need to move. Because firebending and airbending, well, airbending not so much than firebending, but firebending. But firebending comes from the breath. As we saw with Uncle Aro, you can just breathe fire, for God's sake. So you can just go, He could be literally just stuck just ahead. You can do the boomy thing with him. And you just go, yeah, that's interesting. They can just do that. So firebending is arguably the most dangerous art because it's just so destructive naturally. Fire doesn't stop when you use it. Wind, water, earth, they remain still when you use it. But fire, as they kind of describe, is life and living, and it's a lot, and it moves naturally without anyone bending it. So there's that. Sasuke, by the time, and he's also much older than Sasuke too. He's a good. Oh God, how much older was he? I think he's 16, maybe 17 by the end of the Avatar series, original one. So I think 17. So he's a good 4 years. He's got a good 4 years of experience on Sasuke too, and he's got a more developed physical body. This is before you're talking about the drug enhancements and stuff that apparently Orochimaru gave him. Sasuke though is no slouch. He's still an expert fighter, can move at speeds well beyond the normal human eye, which makes him faster than Zuko. He's capable of doing taijutsu on par with someone like Lee, but he's not a master. Unlike Lee kind of was a master martial artist. He's not. He's still very skilled, though. Obviously, he has, all his fire jutsu down. He has the fireball jutsu. He has the Phoenix Flower Jutsu, Great Fireball Jutsu, not Great Fireball, Dragon Fire Jutsu, sorry. And he's got Chidori. You can only get about 2 or 3 shots off there. At this point in the series, though, he also had the Curse Mark, which enhanced his chakra, but it was corrupting him. It was just messing with his mind, and he can go into his Curse Mark states, version 1 and 2, which enhanced him even further. Then, of course, you have his Sharingan. He doesn't have the Mangekyo at this point, so all he can do, really, is place people in illusions, which we really don't see him do in the first part very much. So I don't know if he had learned to do that yet, place a Sharingan Genjutsu on someone. We have no evidence to say he could. We don't have no evidence to say he couldn't either, so I gotta treat it like he can't at this time. He hadn't learned it at that point. He only had 2 and he gained the 3rd Tomai in the fight with Naruto. But he can still perceive movements and predict them. Obviously, he can copy ninjutsu, which doesn't really matter in this fight because Zuko doesn't use it. So let's say this happens right at the end of Avatar. He's healed up from his fight with Azula. And, Sasuke is just wandering here. And he's a stranger in the Fire Nation, so some guards ask what he's doing here. It's leave me alone. I'm just on my way. I'm afraid we got to take him to the Fire Lodge, the COR, and he kind of just doesn't want to go. He's being the dick that he kind of was. And so eventually Zuko gets involved and asks who he is. And it's that's none of your business. I told them it's none of their business and it's none of yours. And get out of my way if you know what's good for you. It's I can't let you do that. And then, he just fires fire at him. Fire style, fireball jutsu! And, because we really don't see it very often, but it does happen occasionally, where we see someone fire a jutsu of their element and someone manipulates it back. We definitely see it most with, I think, earth and water. We don't see as much with fire, but I do think we could see that happening where he fires off a fireball jutsu or whatever, and Zuko just, maybe either parts it or actually parts it and then throws it back right at Sasuke, who has to dodge it. Now, unfortunately, as I said, while Zuko probably has the strength advantage, as we've seen him actually cleave through straight iron chains himself and break stone with like his blades and all that. So he's got a lot of physical strength to him. Sasuke's got the speed advantage because he had to learn it for the Chidori. So he's able to blitz Zuko. And hand-to-hand combat, you'd think Zuko probably would have the edge or close to it, especially with his blades. But that speed enhancement, that train with Kakashi, and that damn Sharingan make it near impossible for Zuko to hit him. And Zuko's getting frustrated, but at the same time, he is keeping Sasuke at bay with his blades. Sasuke, meanwhile, is like preparing another technique. Phoenix Dragon Fire Jutsu. Zuko has to get out of the way, blocks with his blades, but all of a sudden he hears the chirping birds, and he sees the Chidori, which is like lightning bending. It's like Chidori, and he does the jab, and he's moving quick. So the question is, at that point, can Zuko avoid it? Now, luckily, I fully believe he's had way more experience in actual combat than Sasuke has at this point. When you really think about that, how much combat experience at that point in the series does Sasuke actually have? My camera's a little crooked. I don't have a table here anymore right now, so I gotta bounce on my knee. He was trained in the academy, sure, but that's not combat experience. This is training. He fought against the Demon Brothers, Haku, and Zabuza. Guys, he didn't really do much against Zabuza, admittedly. In fact, he didn't do anything. But fought against Haku and did not do very well there. He fought in the Forest of Death a little bit. He fought in the Chunin exams twice. Fought Gaara another time, sure. Then he tried to fight Itachi, didn't go well. And then he fought Naruto twice over. So, that's 8 fights, which is pretty good, all things considered. 8 overall moments of fighting over the course of maybe, 6 months, I think they said. Great. Zuko's been doing this for years. So Zuko's got way more combat experience and therefore has a lot more natural combat instinct. So, and we've seen that he's got good reflexes. He's been taken aback, but we're talking about Zuko at the end of the series. So even though he's been taken aback several times, this is a Zuko who's definitely come a bit more into his own and might actually be able to either at least sidestep and avoid a fatal strike from the Chidori. So it comes and he's like, and it's like, Sasuke, damn it, and he's in midair, like he actually can't dodge, like he tries to flip, but Zuko at this point, this is something I would have loved to have seen Zuko do, because we saw him do the flame daggers, channel the fire, like a la Naruto style, through his, like, scimitars, like through his dual blades, like that would have been really cool, broadswords, sorry, they were broadswords, that would have been really cool to see. I don't know if he can do it or not, but it'd be cool. For the sake of a fun, I would say for the sake of a fun fight, but that'd be a who would win thing I could do. Because I can't give Sasuke Genjutsu, I'm not going to give Zuko something we haven't seen him do. But he still comes in with the blades as he dodges, and he comes cleaving out. Sasuke can't dodge it immediately, so just as it's about to come down, the hand wing comes out. It's like, what? But it cuts straight into Sasuke's hand. It's like, ugh. It's like, yeah, that was close. I almost didn't make it in time. And he flips, and now it's like almost embedded into his wing. Like it didn't cut straight through. So he comes in, and he flips and does a Chidori, and now Zuko has to dodge again. Except this time he nearly gets it, but he lets go with the blade, which is stuck in Sasuke's wing, and he almost gets taken out. He's got a wound there now. It's like, ugh! But he also is able to react at the same time as he lets go and just blast Sasuke point blank with a blast of fire straight to the face. So neither of them get out of this unscathed. Sasuke's burnt. He's hurt, but even a mild tap from a Chidori, I can't imagine is pleasant. So he's bleeding. So Zuko's not doing well. They're both kind of huffing, just and Sasuke's he's burnt, like he literally just took a fire blast to the face. He's not doing well. So they're both like. Now Sasuke does have at least one more Chidori under his like, this is it. I've had it enough with you. I couldn't agree more. It's like, and basically Sasuke comes in. Zuko basically just fires off the biggest blast he can, pretty much, and just boom, right in Sasuke. Sasuke just pulls through, has the wing ready to block it. And that wing is just getting burned to hell. And Sasuke charges through, and they both go, except Sasuke realizes, like, as Zuko never actually let go of his broadsword, because he can launch that with his fists. So he's just as Sasuke stabbed him right in the chest, he stabbed Sasuke right in the chest too. The only problem is because of angling, he got him in where Naruto got hit, so which is a survivable area, as we know. Granted, a healing factor certainly helps, as we saw in Naruto, but still a survivable area. Sasuke got straight in the center. So he got it straight in the... Well, technically your heart's right here. But shoulder is what I'm talking about for Zuko. Whereas Sasuke basically got straight in the middle of the chest, which is, by all account, a lethal blow. Like, your heart is on the left, is more to the left of your chest, but it's not dead. It's not like right there. It's more like here. That's where your heart is, which means it's still semi in the middle of your chest, which means Sasuke just took a lethal blow, whereas Zuko is effed up, injured, and could die. But in my mind, Zuko's experience, his versatility, because he doesn't need chakra to just use it, he doesn't need hand signs, he can just launch fire. His experience, the fact that he is constantly he's a weapon wielder, and the fact that he matured a lot and had a much more level head by the end of the series, gives him, and the fact that Sasuke at this point in the series is a lot more hot-headed and arrogant, gives, for me, Zuko the edge only by an inch. Sasuke very easily could kill him. And it really, what I think hurt this for me, or Sasuke anyway, is the fact that we had no proof at that time in the series he could do Sharingan Genjutsu. If he could do that, I would have given it to Sasuke at that point. Because Sasuke had the speed advantage, he had a wider range of techniques. He technically had better training too, just because he had more training overall and more techniques, and he just had more chakra. He just had a vast supply of energy to go off of. But being brash, younger, arrogant, and not prepared for just the ability to just use fire the way Zuko can use it, weapon wielding, as he didn't really go up against anyone who used a weapon. He very rarely did, anyway. And Zuko being a smarter fighter as well. And that's the thing. I think Zuko's a smarter fighter at that point because he's dealt with a lot more. I think he's like, well, wait, Sasuke lost his entire clan, and Orochimaru's like that. He's totally dealt with more. Really? Because Sasuke, that's true. He's dealt with a lot, but Zuko lost his mother. Zuko had to fight his father and was burned severely by his father, was banished by his father, then was tricked by his sister and made a criminal, threw his uncle in jail, was the only real father figure he had, went back as a hero, then tried to break his uncle out, then rebelled against his father, went to help the Avatar, had to go find his fire back, then had to go save Katara when dueling with sister. I think it's either even or Zuko edges it out, because even though Sasuke dealt with a lot in a short time, Zuko's been around longer. So, now let's be very clear. If this were post-original series, if this were Shippuden and Sasuke, even at the beginning of the series we meet Sasuke, Sasuke wins the fight. Any Sasuke beyond this point would win the fight. Hands down, no problem, honestly. But because we are dealing with a bit more of a kid here, who is a lot more immature, and has a lot more to manipulate, exploit, and is just a little bit more inexperienced than, say, someone like him, then yeah, at that point, it's Zuko who wins the fight, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Maybe you disagree. That is totally cool. We are allowed to disagree. That is what a fandom is about. Just be respectful of anyone in the comments who disagrees with you. Me, myself included. Although I frankly just, it doesn't actually bother me if someone disagrees with me. It's the nature of YouTube. So ultimately, yeah, that's my opinion. I got it on Zuko. But what's your opinion? You agree with me? Disagree with me? Let's know in the comments below. Have a good conversation. Till then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put the comments below. Let me know. I'll try to do a review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. Who would win will be up. Or who would win? Well, what if and who would win will be pre-recorded on Friday for Saturday. We're supposed to get I live in Massachusetts. We're on the East Coast, so we're getting a big snowstorm coming through. Maybe it will sidestep us, but we're getting a big snowstorm coming through. So I might not even be in work on Saturday, which gives me all the time in the world to not record my who would win in the what if for the day, but to play Pokemon Legends Arceus. Oh, baby, you're getting a review for that game, and you'll be getting a speculative, not review, but speculative video dealing with Gen 9 after that, too. I like the. I want to do a video after doing the review of Legends Arceus. I'll probably play the game for a week, and even if I haven't beaten it, I will give my review for it then. And then after I've beaten it, after a bit more time has passed, say mid-February, mid to late February, I'll do a video detailing what I think Gen 9 could and will not take from Legends Arceus. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. See you later.